Aries, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late June, moving into early July 2025. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Aries collective. My guides, talk to me. I hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic. Let's get it going here. What do you have for us Rams in late June, moving into early July? It's Cancer season. What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you might want to lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Aries. Late June, early July. What's the vibe? It's been a couple of interesting weeks, that's for sure. So I'm very intrigued to see what the universe has for us. Okay, cool. I mean, so this energy here is just extremely contemplative, which means it's like thinking. There's a lot of mental action here. And everyone knows usually for us Aries, we are all about the action, the movement. And with this card, and yes, we're still using the creepy Alice deck, it's titled What Will Happen Next. Now, again, this doesn't speak about things that are in the short-term future. We'll just have to see. But when I feel the energy, it's just like thinking very, very hard on something. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the June subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk a little more in depth about this card. So with this Alice deck, I mention it every week. I feel it's a very intuitive style deck where we don't just take it at face value with the image or the words it says. Now, I wonder what will happen next. Sure, I guess if you're one of the Aries out there where things been a little hectic, you've been going through a lot of things, this is kind of an energy where it's like, okay, what next? What's coming up next? What else is going to be put on my plate? So hopefully that's not the case where you already have a full plate and it's like, okay, yeah, all right, I'm just waiting on the universe to drop it. To me, it's just like, I'm thinking. Now, it is very normal. It is human for us to really think into the future. Like, all right, well, what's coming up? I've been through this. What's going to happen? I would say it's important to try to live in the now. That is always important, where you don't want to live too much in the past, because that could get you a little depressed. You don't want to live too much in the future, because that can make you a little anxious. It's all about the now. And I feel like that's super important with this card. Either if it's not you, it's somebody else. Where you ever see those cartoons where someone's thinking so hard, it's like smoke is coming out of their brain? That's kind of what this is making me feel. But we're just going to leave it at that for now. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. And we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for Aries. What do we have? And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading, which does have some interesting implications for the short term. It was titled A Surprising Return. And to me, it just felt like either a situation, a person, you name it, just something that loops back. It's like, oh, all right, I wasn't expecting this to pop back up. So again, that could be various different things. So whether it was situations you've already dealt with or similar things, I would just say keep your head on a swivel, especially over the short term, because there could be various things popping back up. It was a big energy of revisiting the past. So interesting how we have this card, but let's see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone, so only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else's, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards for Aries here. Late June, early July. Thank you. Okay, 9 of Wands, huh? Very, very protective here. I mean, that could be okay. Usually I like an action card, especially for a sign like us, for Aries, because usually I'm like, okay, yeah, here we go. The energy's flowing, but that 9 of Wands, it's like, nope, I'm on guard. I'm watching something. Let's get a couple more. I don't want to go worst case scenario with that card. There we go. We have the Knight of Wands. Okay. Aries, this is either very aggressive or very defensive. That's already what's popping up in my mind. Could be a combination of both, depending on your situation. Because that Knight of Wands is like, that this will not stop me. And then we have another person. We have the Queen of Pentacles right here on the back end. So we do have an intriguing mixture of stuff happening, especially with all these elements going on. Let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. Then we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. But at first look, first glance, You know, I always look at the elements first, very important because it informs us how the energy's moving, how it's flowing. And most of this energy, a lot of us Aries could be pretty comfortable with because we have a lot of fire, the Nine of Wands, the Knight of Wands. Fire represents action, it represents movement, our passion, our drive, our desire, and it's usually good for pushing things forward, which that's why this is so intriguing to me here in this, because it's like I'm pushing against this boundary or this barrier. However, as I'm sure a lot of you know, fire element could be a little unpredictable. It could be a little explosive. It could be a little volatile. So it's like, all right, well, I don't know what's going to happen or why this happened. It's just things that pop up out of nowhere where it's like, can't really predict what's coming. Then we have this earthy energy here on the back end. Now, earth energy could be really nice. It usually represents the material world, work, career, grounded, especially with this one. So we do have some positive cards here, but this Nine of Wands is like really, really piquing my interest for some reason. So let's go through and build this out piece by piece. So position number one, we are starting with the Wounded Warrior. That's the nickname a lot of people give this card. And we see this person, they've built a wall, they've erected a barrier, and they are standing guard and they are watching. Now, often this card will come up when someone's going through a period of healing where, you know, I've been through some stuff, been around the block a few times, not willing to take that trip again. For a portion of you in the positive sense, and you know, I always like to give both sides of the coin. The positive sense with this Nine of Wands, it could be someone, and most people are very protective of the things and the people they value in life. And when I see this, it's extra protective. Now, as long as that doesn't get taken to an extreme, again, it doesn't have to be you. It could be a person where it's like, I'm extra protective, I'm extra observant. It can be on edge sometimes. Now, the issue with the Nine of Wands, it could be blockages. It could represent problems. It could represent, you know, things that are getting in your way where it's like, okay, the energy was flowing, boom, then this Nine of Wands pops up. It's like, what is happening here? In regards to communication, it could represent blockages, like we've already mentioned. Worst case scenario with this card, it can sometimes represent rejection. That's a big thing that we want to look at further with this. So again, I'm not sure if you're on edge, if you're being extra territorial, if there's something or a situation where you're like, you know what, no thanks. That could be part of it with this card. We'll just have to see. And you know, I always like to give all cards the benefit of the doubt. I don't call them a negative until we see other clues. Now, moving to the center, we have the Knight of Wands, and this is what's amusing me about it, because we already spoke about the fire element, the Knight of Wands. It could be us in my simplistic style of reading. It could represent you, your feelings, your emotions when we clarify it, things that could be coming towards you. But what is he doing literally? That's the thing with tarot. Sometimes it could be a storybook. He is rushing right up into that wall there. So again, for some Aries, if something like gets in your way or something does pop up, it's like the urge to just power through, where it's like, nothing's going to stop me. I am determined. I will get the result I want. That's kind of the energy this is making me feel. And it is also pushing some sort of boundary too. So I think it's really interesting how this Knight of Wands is like running headlong into this Nine of Wands here. Now, the positives of this, like I've mentioned, aside from an Aries card, it could be another fire sign. It's action, it's movement. The challenge with it, it's unpredictable, it's volatile, it's explosive. We kind of already covered that. And it could represent other people too, right? Like someone might be acting a little wild or a little unpredictable. It's like, oh, I've never seen this side of you. It's like giving me that vibe. So we'll have to see what he's doing, especially since he's running into this Nine of Wands. Like that, since this card popped out, it's just been giving me that vibe. So hopefully that's not a problem. But again, you might have the urge to just barrel through whatever it might be. On the back end, we have a much softer type of energy. We have the Queen of Pentacles. So this could be an earth sign you're connected to. She could represent mother figures, motherhood. I do link her closely to the Empress. They're very similar. So when I see the Queen of Pentacles, if this isn't a person, it could represent blessings, abundance, stability, especially in the money realm, the material world realm, possessions and earthly things. She's very good for that, but she also has a bit of an issue. In her challenge, she can be very, very stubborn, very, very set in place. So when I see this Knight of Wands in here and it's like it's bouncing back and forth, it's like, I'm feeling trapped. So in this time, watch out for feelings like that, feeling cornered, feeling trapped. You could have cabin fever, like on a small scale of things, but it feels like it's an energy that could potentially lash out depending. So I want to dive deeper on all of it, Aries. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay. Get a good shuffle here. Let's see what's happening for my Aries friends, please. And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on this 9. Let's see what's happening. Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Aries, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, let's see what that 9 is. Why is he chilling right there? Yep. Okay. All right, this is holding out hope potentially in something. I like the star. It's really good. Now, I will mention for some of you, the energy here seems to be forking. So take whichever one hits for you. For a portion of you, the 9 of Wands with the star, it's like, I hope this will improve. I hope this will get better. I'm just waiting on a sign. It's giving me that kind of energy. So again, I'm not sure if you're looking from the universe or from a person, but it's like, I'm hoping to see improvement in something, which can be really good. For another portion of you, there can be something where it's like, I am fiercely protective of it. And if anyone pushes boundaries, like I am lashing out here. But for another portion, I am getting this rejection type of energy. So just know in this time, especially for the Aries, maybe even some of you cross watchers, it is giving me like, you know what, not right now type of energy. Not never, but not right now. There is an energy of a rejection. Now, I'm not sure what that might be. Okay, I'm not saying it's gonna happen to you, but to me, it's like I'm putting a wall up where it's like short term, maybe not long term. It looks better. The star, big Aquarius energy. Usually I like it quite a bit, but underneath this 9 of Wands, either it is extremely protective or, like I mentioned, it's like rejecting something, but it doesn't feel permanent for some reason. It's like maybe not right now, but maybe down the line. And also the holding out hope. But let's keep moving. Very odd how that energy seems to compound. There's like different forks it goes through. I guess it depends on your mindset, right? I guess it depends on your situations, your mindset. But let's see what's up with the Knight of Wands, because we might get some more clues here, because that's the big action. That's the big action. Could be a temporary setback, temporary problem too, aside from the rejecting type of energy. Okay. Oh, okay. So we do have the Lovers in reverse, and this is most definitely, I mean, if you're connected to a Gemini, this could represent them. So watch out for volatility with the Gemini specifically. But if that's not the case, when I see the Lovers in reverse under the Knight of Wands, it's like, you know what? Screw it. I don't care what you think. I don't care what you say. It's like giving me that kind of energy where it's like, and listen, I know as an Aries myself, we're not the biggest sign that really cares about the opinions of others. I mean, every human being does to a certain extent. But when I see this energy in the center, it's like, you know what? I don't care what they think. I don't care what they say. So it is very much like, I don't give a damn type of energy. So keep that in mind during this week. I'm not saying you're going to be volatile in your own right, but it's like, you know what? I don't care what they think. I don't care what they say. But watch out for the issues, especially with people you're very closely bonded to. The Lovers, yeah, it could be family, friends, romantic partners, of course, because it is the Lovers. But when I see it in reverse, it's like, no, we're just on a different frequency right now for whatever reason. So we're just going to keep going. Again, we do see this energy where there's like holding out hope. It's just bizarre how it's presenting itself. Let's see what the Queen of Pentacles has. Then we'll do a quick recap before we get into the shadow card. But the energy to me, it's just like, I don't care. I'm going to do what I want. I'm going to say what I want. I'm going to act how I want. It's just, I don't want to say it's nonchalant, but it doesn't feel spiteful either. It's just odd how it shows up. But let's see what the Queen has. So let's go. Why is that Queen of Pentacles here? Interestingly enough, a lot of this energy feels like other people. Whoa, okay. So there is something where slower is better, okay? And as some of you might not want to hear that. 7 of Swords underneath this Queen of Pentacles, wow. So I would avoid that spontaneous or like, screw it, I'm not waiting, I'm going to do what I want type of energy, because this could be a warning in the center now. Now, the 7 of Swords, for a portion of you, maybe you're connected to an earth sign where it's like, I don't know about them. Especially with the 7 of Swords underneath it, that could be a little warning about a specific individual, specifically any earth sign. And again, if you're cross-watching as an earth sign, I'm not coming at you. But another thing I'm picking up here with the Queen of Pentacles, 7 of Swords, it's like, listen, You need to let something unfold how it needs to. You shouldn't be rushing it, even if there are unknowns, even if there are blind spots. There's just something about pacing yourself and not pressuring that's very important, and keeping a good pace, not rushing. So, with all the things we've seen earlier within the reading, you could be tempted in this time. I don't want to say to fly off the handle, but you could be tempted to like really put the foot on the gas with something and either barrel through pressure. Spirit's like, you're probably not going to want to do that, Aries. Seven of Swords, in its classic sense, and I'll give you both angles real quick. In its best sense, it could just represent the unknown. We've been seeing that around us for a few weeks now, like this surprising, unexpected type of energy. And this card can represent that, but it can also represent unsavory people, unsavory behavior, sneakiness, liars, things like that. So when I see it underneath the Queen of Pentacles, the main thing I'm really feeling here is like, you just need to pace yourself. You don't know what the future holds. You don't know why something's unfolding the way it's unfolding. So it's important that either you don't rush something, you don't pressure it, you just let it unfold naturally. Super important. So let's go through and do a quick recap. Then we'll get into the shadow card. So odd how all this energy came through, and most definitely some of it could be other people you're around. Lots of zodiac signs showing up here. But if you kindly look in the box, position number 1, we do have the Nine of Wands with the star in the upright. A few main messages. Of course, this could represent holding out hope for something. It could represent being extremely, extremely protective, hyper protective. So if someone is encroaching on you, there could be some lash out. So just know that if you're feeling cornered in any kind of way, this energy can make you lash out. But aside from that, it can be like a rejection type of energy where it's like, you know what, not right now. Again, I'm not sure if it's coming from someone else or you, but it's like I have this wall built up. Not saying never, but I'm saying not right now. Moving to the center, we have the Knight of Wands with the Lovers in reverse. It's like, yeah, I don't care what you think. I'm going to do what I want. I'm going to say what I want. I'm going to act how I want. Nothing wrong with that. I do believe in autonomy of people. But I would just say, if there's someone trying to give you advice, or if there's someone trying to hint something to you, don't ignore it. There is something here about doing the opposite of what other people are saying. Moving to the back end, Queen of Pentacles, Seven of Swords in the upright. So there is something that, I don't know if it's divine timing or it just needs a little time to unfold, but Spirit is telling you not to really rush. Don't pressure something too much. Don't press these boundaries like we were seeing here in the middle. Unless you're dealing with an earth sign that you're a little skeptical about. But we're just going to leave it at that. Please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for Aries. What's in the shadows? And yes, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing too. So let's get to one. And if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this going here. What do we got for Aries, please? In the shadows. Nice and quick. There it is. Okay, I mean, this energy, for sure, I mean, Page of Pentacles, we are getting this earthy energy within the shadows. And I already gave you some of the themes, like, oh, don't rush things, don't pressure things. Big earth sign energy showing up here in the shadows with the Page of Pentacles. And these usually represent new things, and they represent communication and talks. Now, in the positive sense, this could be a great opportunity coming up for you, even if you don't see it, even if you don't know it's coming. That's the positive of this being the shadow. But the Page of Pentacles, it can also represent someone that's being a little misleading when it's in the shadows, where someone, what they say and what they do don't quite line up, which again might cause certain reactions here when I see this in the shadows. Strong center around the communication, but whenever I see earth in the shadows, it is just super, super grounded. So watch impatience, watch for pressuring things like we've already seen. If you do have this gut feeling that someone's being a little misleading, this card could absolutely tie into it. That's not for every Aries, obviously, but we're just going to put it down right there, my good friends. That's what I have for you. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the June subscriber surprise. If you would like further insight on your situation, you can book a personal reading with me at my website, mastermetaphysics.com. The June calendar is open, so you can go check for availability. But for the June subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 3 copies of one of my most favorite decks ever, the Everyday Witches Tarot. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things as always. First, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments if you could manifest something right now instantly, what would it be? You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.